The Behemoth by Sniper6407. In early 2014, strange activity was reported in a barren Nevada desert. The people who lived in the surrounding area reported ground-shattering earthquakes on a daily basis. A rancher who lived in the area, Michael Anderson, reported that he and his family had heard something from deep inside the earth. The sound, according to Michael, sounded like nails grinding with a high-pitched scream. On the surface, the sound was very faint, but considering that it purportedly came from deep in the earth, it had to have been loud enough to penetrate meters upon meters of solid dirt and rock. The daily quakes got so bad that all residents within a 10-mile radius were evacuated, while experts and researchers investigated to find the source of the quakes. But there was one strange detail that seemed to go unnoticed. The earthquakes were limited to a 5-mile area, which was very strange. Then the government took interest in the earthquakes. They funded an expedition and investigated to find what was the source, to the amount of $10 million. Previously, a drilling project that was part of the investigation was abandoned as scientists found a very deep and wide well that had gone dry on the ranch's property. The researchers on the expedition decided that the well would be good enough to fit their needs. The plan was to go underground, take some data, and try and find what was causing the earthquakes. At the time, I was a US Spec Ops soldier, and my commander sent me to the expedition, saying I would need to protect the researchers throughout the expedition. I directly asked him why a soldier was needed to go on a seismology expedition. My commander just repeated, "For their protection." I didn't ask any more questions, as I knew I would eventually find out. When I arrived at the expedition site in the desert, I was directed to an abandoned ranch where several scientists were waiting for me beside the enormous well. It was built on a metal platform which was lowered by pulleys and metal ropes. So holding my M16, I got on the metal platform along with the researchers and we started to descend. I turned on my flashlight on my gun as we descended deeper and deeper into the earth until the entrance of the well was nothing more than a circle of light above us. The well was fairly wide, about 3 meters in diameter, and instead of getting narrower as we got deeper, the vertical tunnel actually got wider. Somewhere at the 50-meter mark, where I was totally expecting the well to hit a dirt floor, something very unexpected happened. I pointed my flashlight down beneath us, and instead of hitting a dead end, the well opened up into an enormous cave system. We descended even further into a gigantic section of the underground cave, which was about 50 meters wide and 50 meters deep, with tunnels leading deeper into the cave from all directions. Holy shit! I breathed. There were lamps and small spotlights screwed into different parts of the cave walls, and when the metal platform we were standing on finally hit the bottom of the cave, we stepped out. Along the cave floor, there were multiple tents and tables neatly scattered about, clearly resembling a makeshift research center. A tall and thin woman stepped up towards me and greeted me.
"I'm Laura. I'm the director of the operation,"
she said, shaking my hand. "All right. What do you need me to do? I seriously can't see a reason why a US soldier would be needed on a scientific operation like this."
"Well, recently, a couple of our scientists had gone into that tunnel."
She pointed to a large and dark tunnel that went deeper into the cave.
"And they didn't come out. We sent some men to go find them, but all they found were a couple of bloody bones. Human bones. And from the looks of it, the remains were fresh. That happened yesterday, and in order to continue our research, we need to go inside the tunnel."
I eyed her suspiciously. "That wasn't in the report. What are you really doing down here?"
"That information is classified."
"Classified my ass. When do you need to go into the tunnel?"
"Right now."
5 minutes later, I was in the tunnel with several researchers and another soldier. His name was Sergio. He'd been a Navy SEAL for 10 years. We walked down the cave corridor until the only visible light was that from our headlamps and my barrel flashlight. We were hundreds of meters deep inside the tunnel when I heard a sound, a very unusual sound, like a water balloon splashing mixed with the sound of something dragging itself. I was not prepared for what I saw. I shined my flashlight on the source of the sound and revealed it. A creature. It took me seconds to decide that yes, this was a living creature that was dragging itself towards us at a terrifyingly fast speed from 10 meters ahead of us in the tunnel. It was a mass of black, slimy flesh about 2 meters in diameter, covered in tentacles and bony appendages. It had eyes all over its body and several mouths filled with sharp teeth jutting out from its flesh. The creature smelled horrible, like rotting meat left out in the sun.
Shit!
I yelled, jumping back. What? What is it? Sergio asked. I pointed at the creature, but now the scientists had seen the creature and they were screaming and backing away.
Fire!
I yelled. Sergio and I unloaded our entire magazines on the creature. By the time we loaded another magazine into our guns, the creature was nothing more than a dead, smoldering mass of flesh. What the hell is that? I asked as we walked toward the creature. Fuck if I know, Sergio said, kicking the dead creature. Should we go back?
No, Lauren told us we should take the researchers where they needed, no matter what we saw.
That's pretty shitty. Keep your eyes open for anything else. We, along with the researchers, stepped around the dead creature and continued deeper into the tunnel. At some point, the tunnel opened up into another large space. The rock walls on the room were surprisingly smooth, as if someone or something had sanded them down. There were strange hieroglyphics and reliefs carved into the wall, and an enormous dark passageway that led even deeper into the earth. The entrance to the passageway was 15 feet tall, and it was definitely not created by or meant for humans. The hieroglyphics depicted alien-like creatures, some resembling tentacled masses like the one that had attacked us earlier, and some depicting giant, emaciated mixes of cephalopods, crustaceans, and some things I can't even identify. While looking around, I saw something in the corridor. Probably 20 meters in, there was an enormous white circle, slightly elongated in the edges. At first, I was confused and scared, to say the least. Then, when I noticed the reptilian black line running down the middle of the circle, the horrifying realization hit me. That circle, it wasn't a circle, it was an eye. The enormous eye blinked, and the earth started to shake, and the air was rattling with it. And at that moment, we found the source of the earthquake. We couldn't do anything except run back through the cave tunnel as the eldritch horror beneath began to emerge.